Is £5 worth of bait enough to compete or even win a match? Well, today we're going to find out. Man. So we've got 2 tins of meat, 3 tins of corn, and I really want to see, do you need to spend all our money on bait, or is a £5 going to be enough to win us a match today? Oh, that was nice. Oh, that was a lovely bit of mugging, that. If I do say so myself. There we go, there's another one down the edge. That's definitely the way to catch them. An absolutely obese F1. Look at the derby on this. We've drawn peg 45 and I reckon it's a great peg to put this theory to the test. Right, I've cut my meat there, that's 6mm, and in the bottom of my bait bag I found, look at that catch, some red krill. Now, we're going to be mugging a few fish today for sure. It's red hot, it's 30 odd degrees. To be honest, corn and meat on the bottom isn't probably the best way to approach it, but that's what we've got. But to stack the odds in my favour a little bit, I'm just going to take a handful of meat. Meat is brilliant for like mugging carp, but I'm just going to take a tiny palmful. Like, we haven't got a lot to waste, so I probably go even less than that. That much, and I'm just going to colour a little bit red, just for the hook. Like, red pellets are brilliant for mugging, so a little bit of red meat, I'm sure, will just stack the odds in our favour of getting a bite or two. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the box there, flick them around, look at them, absolute beauties. So you got that, got some nice white meat, some red meat. I've probably got a couple of mil left in there, so just a couple of different variations, just to try and stack the odds in our favour. If there's a few cruisers about, we've got 2 different colour baits to catch them on. Right, so we're just a couple of minutes before the end now, and I'm just looking at my side tray. I'm going to have to be super frugal with my bait, especially the first half of the match. What I want to do is try and keep as much back for later on when the fish actually feed. Last time we come, it was rock hard up until the last 2 hours, and then it started fishing quite well, so I want to make sure I've got some bait for the last part of the match. So the plan early doors is it's 33 degrees today, so you can imagine there's a lot of carp up on the top. It's going to be a patience game the first 2 hours. I'm just going to be sort of flicking at odd fish. Like, at the minute there's nothing in front of me, but up to my right there's a right gang of them, and they keep drifting down, and then they'll go over there, then they'll come back. So it's probably going to be a little bit of a boring start, just flicking at an odd fish. I haven't plumbed up many lines. I've got one in the edge there, which is really nice. I've got a short line and a long line. I'm just going to tap meat and corn in on all them lines. I would like to fish the bomb and maybe loose fed some meat, but again, I'm not going to have enough bait to do everything. So I'm just going to try and do 2 or 3 things, but do them well. Keep my bait back into the last half of the match, so early doors. If we can get a couple of muggers under our belt, we'll be in a really good position then. Target weight is like £70. The last 2 or 3 matches has been between like 68 and 72 pounds, been winning 30 odd pound a frame. So we don't need loads of fish. You know, it's not like, it is a commercial venue, but it's not one of the, you know, where you need to catch 250 pounds. It's like really nice fishing. Everyone you catch, you feel like you've earned. So there's a great big pair of cruisers just coming in here now, so I could do with them calling time, because I could just flick straight on them. I'm just going to break my pole down quietly. Oh, they've just dropped down to the site there. I'm sure they'll pop up again. They are really, really spooky, these fish, and they're notoriously hard to mug the fish in here. So it's about picking the right ones. There's been an odd one that's like swimming around, just coming up eating like an odd leaf or a feather off the top. They're the ones you can catch. Right, here we go. There's a ghostie absolutely tramming through here, so I'm probably not going to get a chance of him. So I'm just going to flick a little bit of meat short. There, a couple of cubes. Oh, look at this here. Oh, he didn't like that. You almost saw the pole coming towards him, that one. Up. Yeah, like last time we come, they were like this. Look at him there, look. See, I feel like he's catchable. See, don't like that pole straight away. So when there's not a fish there, I'll just shift my pole back. So there's nothing over the water. Not my best sort of flicks at fish they weren't, but it's early on, so there's a fish coming through here. He's quite deep, but I might get a chance at him. Oh, go on. Oh, he went for that and just turned away then. That was a big ghosty. I thought we were going to have him then. There he is again out there, look. Oh, see, like you get anywhere near him and they're gone. So I'm just going to keep flicking a little bit of bait there. There's a fish there now. Now early on, they should be quite easy to mug. Oh, he went towards it. Look, he's looking for it. Thought he had that in his mouth there, that one. Let's try a little red piece of meat. God, I'm shaking like a Penland council house here now. Always the same when you get a few muggers and you peg early. Let's try a little red piece. Shaking here, boys. That should be on every time. Oh, he's looking for it. Go on. Oh, get out! God, I wish I had a handful of maggots here for these. Oh, there we go. Got that one. Hurrah! I lost sight of that fish then. I just flicked it in. And he's had that. So let's try and make this one count now, because we're not going to get loads of chances by the look of it. But finally we've had one. We haven't been fishing long, 9 minutes, but probably flicked at like 15 different fish. So I just want to make sure I get this in. I'm not fishing like super heavy. I'm only fishing like a full 14 hook length on here. Just because they were so hard to mug last time we come. Nice fish that is, look. Let's take my time with this one. That's where they're sat. They're all just sat there. There's an odd one just coming through then. Come on in. What's that view? Oh yeah, that's a good one, that is. That's a good one. Yeah, big fish. What's going on with this carp all of a sudden? Get out to that edge, boy. There we go, look at that. That's a good one, that is. Oh, happy days. That's £8 that is. In anyone's money. Nice little settler, that is. So that sort of gives us now like the license to just be nice and patient now. And just hopefully pick an odd one off as they come through. And keep flicking that meat there. Got him. I've seen him suck that in then. He was just staring at it like that and then he just sucked it in. Lovely. Little one. I think that was my nemesis one, Rimmer, was it? The one I've been flicking at loads of times. I think it is too. Nice start. What are we on? 20 minutes. And what's nice is I've seen 2 carp get caught on the bottom, which is encouraging. You might catch a few of those lovely big Bentley F1s on the bottom. That would be nice. Those big brown ones. Love them ones. There we go. It's £4. That was a nice bit of mugging, that. Well done, me. Still. Not bad. Oh, we got. No wonder you missed. I've missed this fish a couple of times. No wonder he got a little tiny mouth, look. That's why I couldn't hook him. I got him that time. No wonder he looked like he was just trying to kiss it. He couldn't suck it in tidy, man. I do like it when they just come and kiss it. Just coming up on an hour in now, and I've had those 2 muggers early, but they've sort of deserted us now. Any fish that are cruising around are a long way out to my right or over there. Ideally for them muggers, because they were so high, like my go-to is like 2 dead reds for muggers like that, especially when they're like super high in the water. So meat is good as well, don't get me wrong, but maggots would be my preference there. And on the pole, I've just dropped on the pole and I'm getting mithered by smaller fish, but the problem is I can't up the feed because I haven't got enough bait to do it. Ideally what I'd be fishing on a day like this, like it's 30 degrees today, like I'd be loose feeding casters and fishing worms on the bottom and shallow. I think that would be the way to catch them today, especially like these odd carp that are cruising around. You would definitely catch a few of them like that. Like what I'm doing now isn't really ideal. I feel as if you're catching a lot more fish on like natural, you know, maggots, casters and worms now. But I'm pretty sure like later on in the day, if I can keep enough bait back, because I'm not too worried about the first sort of 2 hours what I catch. Like we've had 2 mugging, which is nice. So we've got probably £12. It's that last 2 hours is going to be key. So we're an hour in, I haven't used a lot of bait yet. Well, basically it was hardly anything. I've just been tapping a little bit of meat long, a little bit of meat short. Got that big cruiser just coming past my float there, look. So I'm going to stick like this for the next hour, maybe get a chance of an odd cruiser. If, like, look at him, like he is prime for it there. Like the next hour I'm just going to keep flicking a little bit of meat short, tapping a little bit of meat and corn long, and then I can see where I am bait wise then with 3 hours to go, and then I can make my decision, because I feel like my edge down to my left is going to be where we're going to do the damage, so I need to make sure I've got enough bait for that. There we go, there's another one down the edge. That was clean as a whistle. That's definitely the way to catch them. Sweat is absolutely pumping out of me by a... Oh, that's a good one, look at that. Got a netted in there. So an hour... Oh, look, I'm going to have to try mugging these. So an hour in. It's not disastrous. Look at these, they've just popped up from everywhere now. It's not disastrous by any means. 2 fish, £12. But I think it could be a lot better if we had casters and worms, I've got to be honest. But it only takes 1 mugger to get us like right back in the mix again. Like that one there would be absolutely ideal. But he's just turned and followed his mate away, typical. I've literally just picked this up and they've all gone. There's one out there. There's a lad over in the corner over there, he's fishing hard pellets, 4 mils I think, and he's had 5 fish now on the bottom. So I think he's catching like a few, there might be a few little stocky carp in here they've put in. And he's catching a few of them. But at the minute for us, look at him, look. It's a bit of a grind. No. Like this meat looks lovely when you drop it in, it's sinking so slowly. But they're not having none of it. Like there was probably 8 or 9 fish cruising about then, and as soon as I picked this rig up, there's nothing here again. I feel like I need to keep on one line loose feeding bait to try and attract some fish. There's a little gang of them out there now. But what they do, like you see them, and you think, oh, here we go, and then they just drop down out the sight. So hour in, frustrating at the minute, but I'm sure it will come good eventually. Sure that edge will get us out of jail eventually, yeah. Oh, well, there we go. Now he had a shock when I struck into him. He did not like that then. But that's exactly what we needed. Come out, there's like a channel to my left here and I don't want him going up there. And that's what he's trying to do. Look at this thing going. Let me get up here a minute, boys. Oh, it's a good fish, that is, look. This is what we needed. You know, and this could be our match for the first sort of 3 hours. You know, maybe I haven't been patient enough. Been trying to catch him on the bottom when I could probably just do this. That was a nice bit of mugging, that was. Come on. Oh yeah, bigger than I thought that is. There we go. That's just nice, that is. Absolutely perfect. So I'm going to drop, well, there's none here. I'm just going to drop back short on the bottom. Where I've been flicking a little bit of meat. I feel like that's my best chance of a bite there. Where I can throw a little bit of bait in. So what I've been doing is just putting my hook bait on. And then I'm just like leaving my rig lying on the grass there. That seems to try. Whenever one swims past, I can quickly just grab hold of that and flick it on him. So hour in, it's just gone really well. I'm happy with that now. 3 fish for probably 18 pound. So far, so good. Oh, hello. No, an absolutely obese F1. Look at the derby on this. Get that camera rolling, Rimmer. You've never... Look at this for a drum. Oh, that's bad. That's 3 pound in the drum, that is. That's bad. Yeah. Just over the 2 hour mark now and it's going quite well. I think I've mugged another 2. Hello. And I've just started hooking an odd fish short. I've had a big old F1. I've had a nice carp, 5 or 6 pound. I've had a little carp. I just foul hooked a fish, a good fish that come off, and I've just got that's a nice F1 that is, look. Oh yes. So it's just started harping on the short line now, but I feel like I need to be feeding more meat. But I daren't go over the top now and leave myself nothing for like the main part of the match. Like the problem I got is I'm missing a lot of bites off tiny little bits. Like I've had some gudgeon, I've had some little tiny perch, little hand-sized skimmers, and they're in my peg. I know they are because I'm having like little tiny jabs on my float, which are them. But the last sort of 10 or 15 minutes I have actually caught 3 decent fish there, which is really, really encouraging. You know, I'm just feeding as little as I dare, sort of like 4 or 5 cubes, and then just sitting there fishing it out. If I miss a bite or catch a silverfish, I'll throw another couple of cubes. I think throwing is quite important because I feel like it's pulling an odd fish in rather than just potting it really tight. Because the carp I caught that literally, like, I laid the rig into the side and it just instantly went under, and I hooked it, and it felt like it was a foot off the bottom when he's gone down, picked it up and come back up with it. So in an ideal world I'd have more meat and I could, you know, throw like 10 bits of meat twice to like keep the silvers fed, but make sure there's some fish there, some bait there for when the carp turn up, or the F1s. But this is nice so far. Like, I'm happy with how it is to catch a few early. You know, 2 hours in and we've had 1, 2, 3, we've had 4 decent fish short now. The muggers are kind of few and far between. Even though I have mugged another 2, they are like really hugging the island now. They daren't come close because they know if they come close they're having a rig flicked on them. See, these are the fish that are in my peg that I don't want to catch. And the problem is they're eating the meat before there's any decent fish getting a chance to eat it, like little hand-sized skimmers. You know, if they were a pound, there's no bother, but when they're like 5 ounce, I'm not really interested in catching them. But, you know, I'm happy with how it's going. It's going well. I really think we're going to catch some fish in the edge. Certainly to my left, and I feel like later on what I'll do, I'll start mixing some meat and corn together for the short line. That can be a great way of catching like big quality fish, just like potting meat and corn in. But for now, all I want to do is just tick over, like as I am, an odd mugger, drop it on you, catch an odd F1, maybe a carp. I'm happy with how it's going. I don't feel like I need to feed any other lines. Like, I can't risk sort of feeding bait long, like prepping a long line, and then it doesn't work on it and I've just wasted all that bait. At least on this line here, I know there's an odd fish about to be caught. So I'm just happy just to settle in here now, and I'm just keeping my eyes peeled, because every now and then you'll have like a group of muggers come through. It's like they're doing laps of the island, they must be, and then every now and then they just settle up in front of me and you do get an odd chance. So there's like loads of little indications on the float there now. That's those little nuisance bits. You know, I want to feed more meat really, but like, got to be proper disciplined not to blow it all when there's not like loads of fish feeding. Because I'm looking around the lake, there's an odd fish getting caught, but nothing like, no one set in the world of Lake Geo. You know, I just say, because this Farmer Jack is like 2 lakes. There's like this bowl here with the island, and there's a big bowl behind me, and there's like a little channel going through to my left. So I can't see anybody behind me, but we're doing well on this lake for sure, so there's no need to start potting bait everywhere and losing your way. Just keep going as we are. Like, so as I've not had a bite there now, I'm just gonna a couple more cubes of meat. I think throwing that little bit of meat is key with those F1s, just to try and get them into your peg. See, there's an odd little fizz. Like when I've seen one blow in my peg and a few bubbles have come up, I've caught one. And just one has just fizzed like a foot past my float there. I think this will come good later, like this line here and our edge, like bounce off those 2 lines. I think we put a few fish together later on doing that. And then just keep your eyes peeled, because you never know, those sometimes like later in the day those cruisers just pop up in front of you. So far so good. 2 hours in, we've got 30 odd pound. Get out, look at that, come on, get out of it. Why has he got to swim through there now? We've got the whole lake to swim through. Yeah, 2 hours in, we got 30 odd pound. The target was 70, and I'm hoping we've still got the best part of the mash to come. So we're on target. We're being disciplined with our bait, but we're getting there. It's starting to happen now. Now that was nice. That was just nice, that one. I'm missing a couple of opportunities there. I've had 2 sucker in, and I've just absolutely fresh aired them. Just flicked it on that one. He's taken that an absolute treat there. And I've noticed on my short line, even though there's a few nuisance fish about, There's a few fish starting to blow on it, like better fish, so that's looking good for a little bit later on. But that was a lovely bit of mugging that, even if I do say so myself. Oh, bad bit of netting though. He didn't like that. Come on then. Go. Got him that time. Oh yeah, he's hooked lovely. He is right in the middle of the top lip, look. Stop that now, then. Silly bills, man. So I think if I catch another one, I better chuck another net in, I think, because it's a £60 limit. I'm sure I got getting on for £40 in there now. I'm just slowly starting to up my feed a little bit now. Look at this duck. No chance, mate. Fucking everywhere I go, get out. Ducks. So that was a nice little bit of fishing, so I'm going to put my hook bait on again and then just keep it. Let me just check that Docklow in a minute. Just slid up the elastic like that. I just want to keep that mugging rig to hand. If one pops up on it, we're ready to rock. So let's have another little look in short now. So when you sort of catch one mugging, they just all disappear. Let's have a quick look short. Oh, where are we? Need another joint there. Oh, see now, there's a carp there now, look. Is he staying up or is he going down? He's gone down. You don't want to stay up for very long now. That's the trouble when you catch a few and there's not millions about. You get super wary. Let's have a look short. Need to start catching a couple more here. But I'm going to start upping the bait a little bit now, and I'm going to start throwing a little bit of corn in there as well. Because there's a few nuisance fish, at least they won't be pecking away at that corn so much. Right, there's a couple of fish just coming in from my left now. So the name of the game with this is stealth. Like, don't rush at it. Try and keep everything smooth, because today, honestly, I'm sure they can hear the pole coming out there. Like, that one's just gone a little bit too far, so I'm not going to like bother chasing them. I don't want to chase them around. I just want them like nice and settled. They've sort of pushed out again now, but when you see them, like, don't just rush out to 60 metres, just give them a second to see if they'll come a little bit closer, because obviously the closer you can get at them, the easier it is to flick on them, then the easier they are to catch. Like, if you can see out there now, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carp. They're just hugging that island at the minute. So I'm just waiting for a chance. When I'm fishing my short line, like, one popped up, and to be honest, I was like stuck in two minds whether to go for him or not. But I should have done, because he's gone now, but I'll just sit here for, now that I've got this mugging rig on, I'll just sit here for a second, see if a few will just drift back in. Because where you wear like little groups of them where there's like nothing for ages and ages and ages. And there's two coming there now, and then all of a sudden they're all over you like a rash, and everywhere you look there's one. And then they're gone again. But what they're doing is like this, they're quite high, and then when they get into range they just sort of drop down and you can't see them. Like, there's one there now, but I know he's going to be right on the edge of my limit, so I don't want to like, I don't want him to think every time they come anywhere near they're going to have a pole shipped on them. Oh, what the f going on? What's he doing? Oh, you f Iron as f that is. So like, they don't really want to come close enough to have a go at them ones, but you've just got to sit tight. Look, there's one there now, so, and that's a good fish. That's the fish that was earlier on, and he looks as if you could catch him. And my shadow was the wrong side really, so I'm just going to try and have a flick. I think he's just swum straight past that one. Yeah. I'm just trying to lay it in as gently as I can. I don't want to slap it on them because even the plop of the meat going in, if it's too close to them, they just spook away from it. That's why I'm going like well in front of them and just let him kind of like swim onto the bait rather than me flicking it onto him. So he's gone. So I'll just bring my pole back now. Keep a little bit of bait going in short because I think we're going to catch a few there soon. I've been throwing a little bit of corn in there now as well, just to bulk my meat up, but I'm going, you know, I've still got this full bag yet, so I've probably only used half a tin so far. But with what I'm going to do with my edge fishing with our meat, I'm going to need that, because what we're going to do, there's a carp here, we're going to put a little bit through the mincer for down the edge. Bit of a gamble, because if it doesn't work, we've got nothing to put on the hook. But if it does work, which I think it might, it could be a match winner. So there's a carp, he was going too quick there. It's like they're just all sat out of range. And there's one there. There's one in amongst the leaves. And those ones that sort of stop and like swim round in circles, like they're looking for something. You can catch them, but he's just cleared off out there as well now. So definitely a patience game, but when you do get one, it's worth it because they're all sort of 6 to 8 pound a piece. It doesn't take long to do a weight. There's a pair here now. Here we go. I'm just going to creep the pole up towards them. I've lost sight of them now. I don't even know where they went. There they are there, look. Put it well in front of him. No, he just turned at that. Oh. The first one ignored it, turned away from it. But there was another one sneaking in behind him and he's had it, look. So there we are, there's a little bit of mugging, 101. Didn't even see that fish, but because I put it in so nice for that first fish, he sort of swam towards it, thought, I'm not having that. But the second one just came in and cleaned it out. Happy days. At Docklow here, it's not a big fish water. It's not, you know, it's not a big weight water, I should say. You know, you're sort of fishing for between 70 and 100 pound, which I think is really, really nice fishing because every fish counts. And on days like this where it's 30 odd degrees, one of the best ways to get to sort of 70, 80 pound is mugging, like proper patience game. It feels like you'll go a lot of the match, you're not putting nothing in the net, but then you'll have a couple of opportunities and you'll catch 2 or 3 and you really quick, and all of a sudden you're up to 20 pound, then you're up to 40 pound. So always have like this. A lot of people don't like mugging, and I can't understand why, because it's one of the like purest forms of fishing you can do. So this is definitely something to get out and practice, because today it's made up the majority of our weight so far. And we have, what's he doing? We have caught a couple on the bottom. I think we've had 5 F1s and a carp, but we've probably had, I don't know, 8 or 9 mugging. So that's made up the most of our weight. And it just puts us in a good position for later on in the match when the fish actually feed on the bottom. And when you're fishing for only a handful, like we are today, just take your time with them all. Just try and make everyone count. You've done the hard work of mugging them. So I'm just going to take my time with this. This is where I don't like them under my nets here, like this. Nice common, look. There we go. There's another one in the net. So what I can do now, I can just sort of bait this hook up, leave it on my side tray here. I'll drop back on the bottom now, try and catch one. And I'll just wait for them fish to come back around, because like there was a few about just now and there's literally hardly any here now. And the ones that are here are right over there. So what they've been doing is just going around the island, and then they'll just come back and you'll get a few more in front of you and get another chance. So once you're waiting for them to come back, a little bit of meat short. I'll bait this up ready to go. And we'll just lay him to the side. pick up the bottom rig and then just drop in there, see if you can nick one short. We're just past the 3rd hour now. What is it? 13 minutes past the 3rd hour, and I need to start thinking about my edges, I think, now. Especially this side here, because the shade has just come over and it looks really nice there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a bit of a risk. I've still got a tin and a half of cubes there. I'm going to mush half of them up. I've got a meat mincer there, so I'm going to put it through, mince them up, mix a few cubes in with it and some corn, and that's what I'm going to use to feed the edge now. If it doesn't work, we're going to have wasted a lot of bait, a lot of meat, because I still want to keep throwing some cubes there, but I feel like I need to up the ante on that a little bit as well. So I'm going to get off my box quickly. I'm going to put some through the mincer, then I'm going to feed a little blob up there just to get a little bit of bait in. Look, there's a carp here. And then with an hour and a half to go, I think it's going to be worth having a look in the edge, because there's a few carp just sort of gathering up on this corner. Look at these down here now, look. But I can't see him to mug, but every now and then you just see one swirl just down on that point there. And I'm pretty sure we'll get a chance of a fish or two in the edge, and still even a fish or two short. And with all the corn I've got left over, I've still got best part of 3 tins. I'm just going to big pot it down here just on my toenails with like 40 minutes to go. Might catch an odd big one just down there. Sometimes if you feed your edges really close to you, that's where you catch those great big ones. There's a cruiser right there, look. Oh, come on, Mike, go. And I've lost sight of him now. So that is the next move. But every time I go to get off my box, the carp appears. So as soon as these muggers go, I'm going to get up and do that meat mush. Feed her with an hour and a half to go, I think. And then hopefully we can catch 5 or 6 up that edge. I think we will. It looks mega for it, so. Let's carry on mugging just for a minute. There's a few here. Look, there's a pair of them here now. Oh my God, look at these. And there we go, we got that one. Just like sort of skated it in front of him, that one. Didn't plop it on him. Just pulled it back and it just stopped it right on his beak. And he couldn't resist that. It's gone super hot now. The sweat is pumping out here. So let's get this one in. Oh, that's a good fish too. Go on in the net. Oh, Mikey was in there then. Oh. It's a good one. That's how lovely that is. Whoa now. Oh, what the f going on? Oh, you iron as that is. We're bang on an hour to go. The last hour's been rock hard. I think I've mugged 2 more. I don't know what's happened, but my short line there was quite good earlier on, where I've had like a big carp and 3 or 4 F1s. I think I've had 4 F1s there. That's just absolutely gone now. And I don't know why, to be honest. There's a cruiser there. Let me just have a quick flick at him. I just feel like, to be honest, it's gone absolutely red hot now, this last little bit. The last hour or so is almost unbearable with the heat. I just don't think anything really wants to be anywhere near the bottom feeding. It's just everything, you know, they're just swimming around, not really interested in eating anything. Like, I'm keeping an eye around the lake, and I've not seen a lot be caught on the bottom, I've got to be honest. I've seen an odd fish come in this edge to my left. They're not coming in on the bottom, they're just sort of swirling like a foot deep, and it's like 2.5 foot down the edge. What I would like to feed here, really, I'd like to just feed, you know, feed casters down the edge now, almost like we done last time. Just feeding casters, fishing a big piece of worm on the hook. I feel like they're the baits that you need to fish when it's like this. when it's, you know, red hot and still like this, that's where like maggots and casters come into their own. And I feel like I haven't been able to attack that short line just because I haven't got enough bait to be able to do this on short. I feel like we would have caught a few more if I had a bit more meat, where I could have thrown it a bit more positively, just because there's so many tiny little fish about. That would have been nice, but you know, we still caught a few. We're still up there, I think, even though we've had a quiet last hour. I can hear a few fish getting caught now. Hear a bit of splashing around the lake, and I just feel like this bait isn't right for like corn. Has just been a waste of time. I may as well not bother bringing any corn, to be honest. There's been a few fish to be caught on meat. I probably would have been better off bringing 3 tins of meat, to be honest, rather than 3 tins of corn as well. But I'd have thought there'd been an odd carp to be caught in this edge. Like, all the muggers have just stopped coming. They just will not come into pool range now. They've had an absolute guts full of it. But the problem is I can't catch them anywhere else now. I thought that short line would have, you know, kept us ticking over. Just drop in there, nick an odd one. There's a carp there now. Every time you go down the edge, one just pops up in front of you. Look. But I need to start catching a few down here. I don't know why I'm not catching them. It's a lovely spot. It's like probably like 2.5 foot there, all like hard all gravelly and hard, right on the point of where it goes around the corner. I feel like they should be coming in there and catching, you know, picking them off now. Just loads of like little nuisance fish. Can't get away from them. Like, they absolutely love meat, these little bits. Which is alright if you've got enough meat to feed. But if you haven't, you're in trouble. You know, they're not ideal. They ain't. Lovely clean bite. I thought that was going to be a carp that time then. I'm just going to keep throwing a bit there. Need somewhere to be able to drop in and have a little run now. I don't feel like it's going to happen all of a sudden. I've still got that edge there to feed. I'm not going to feed that until a little bit later on. I'm just going to bosh a load of corn in there. It doesn't feel like corn is the way, to be honest. I just feel like casters and worms have been the boy today, 100%. But I definitely caught shallow through the day, like root feeding casters, and then dropped on the bottom with worms on the hook. Sure I'd have caught a few like that as well. And then just casters in the edge, like the last match we done when we just threw casters on the top form. We had a few carp and big F1s there. I think that would have been the way here as well. Can't believe I've not had a carp down here. Looks perfect for one. I'm out from there now. Can't hold him. Oh, I didn't mean those brambles. Why did he have to go mad like that? 1 minute to go. Oh, look, he's done me on somebody else's line, would you believe? The baits we've got aren't really the baits you want when it's 30 odd degrees. Now, if it was windy and overcast and mild, we'd have probably caught a lot of fish on meat and corn. But these aren't really the conditions you want to be fishing corn in. See, there's a few little fizzes coming up in the edge there, just off the bank. If I can just get a carp under my belt down here, then I'll be confident we can catch a few more. It's just catching that first one is the problem. I lose my in a minute, yeah, now I am. Oh, Mike, you thick. Oh, look at this. You could take in the Oh, oh, surprise, surprise. That's what's me off. And every time you put your hole anywhere up there. Should be catching a few short now. Oh, you I've just hooked my second carp down the edge in like 5 or 10 minutes. That's a good one too, look at that. It's a big one. And I've just like forsaken that meat because that's all I'm getting is little nuisance fish coming in my peg. So I've just been big potting corn, and as soon as I put one big pot in, it started fizzing like mad down the edge. So I've just big potted it, gone in, caught one. I've just big potted it again, had a quick look on meat short, dropped back in, got another. Oh, this thing is going ballistic now. Oh no, don't do this now. We've got a quarter of an hour left. Now maybe I should have been doing this earlier, but already I'm through almost 2 tins of corn, that's the problem. Nice fish, look. There we go. Ooh. There where we want. That meat line short has just been, after we had that, I've had one more F1 short on meat. And then since then I've just not had another sign on it. I don't know why, but that meat definitely hasn't like got going where I thought it was, because we had a few sort of early on that meat short. I thought this would be really good, but I just don't think, to be honest, I've attacked it enough. That's the top and bottom of it really. So I'm going to pot 100 ml of corn in again now. Probably should have been doing this earlier. So I just dump that corn in there. Whip that back quick. Where's that rig? And then double corn on the hook. They're definitely coming in there now. Oh, 2 nice big pieces of corn so they can pick it out. See if we can get another before the end now. It's a little bit of a job to see down here, but just pull my pole in there. Glasses off is better. So what you'll get is just sit there, and then all of a sudden you just get a massive eruption of bubbles. But where I plumbed up is rock hard. The fizzing is like 2 foot out into the lake. But that was lovely and clean, that just walloped under that one. But feeding like this, you're going to go through some serious amount of corn. Probably should have done it half hour earlier. I'd have probably had enough corn just to get another half an hour out of it. But nobody's really, like on this lake, I can't see anybody else really catching down the edge and stuff. But it's nice to get them too. All the muggers have disappeared. I've never ever missed so many muggers. If I had hair, I'd have torn it out today. I reckon I've had at least 15 suck that little piece of meat in. Like I've seen them suck it in with my glasses on. Strike, just fresh air. Now next time I fish meat mugging, I think I'm going to hair rig it. So the hook is exposed, because I think that's why I'm missing them, because the hook is buried in that bit of meat. You know, I got a 14 hook on, it's a decent sized hook. But missed, and you don't miss them like on maggots. A lot of the time on maggots, when they grab it, they just pull everything tight, hook themselves. There's a carp in there now in that edge. But even down there, I feel like they're off the bottom. Swimming in like half depth and that. But we'll see if we can just nick another now, that'll be nice. There we go, there's another one knocked on the edge. That was clean as a whistle. I think I've messed up, with my feeding, trying to catch them on meat. And I wouldn't have fancied fishing corn, to be honest, but that's definitely the way to catch them. Big pot of corn and then just sit over the top of it. That's another good fish, that is, look. Oh, that's 3 in like 10 minutes down the edge there now. And we probably, like still got an unopened tin there, so we probably would have had another half an hour's fishing out of this. Or maybe it's just time of the day now they're coming in and having a little feed. But it's nice to get a few in this edge. That's a bigger now one is as well, look. It's so hot now, it's just unbearable, to be honest. It's a job to fish in. No, not much of a one for the heat, the old ex-ginger when I had hair. Look at that thing. There you go in now, boy. Oh, no. Stop that. He just wrapped himself around the line now, look. Why do they always do that? He's got it stuck behind his fin. And that's how they break your core. That's a good one. Look at that. Got a netted in there. I want him to ping that line loose, really. How has he got that around him now like that? These are the ones that when they get wrapped around their body like that, they'll just charge off 100 mile an hour and bust you. Come loose, man. Look at it. You can see where that's caught in around his fin in the middle of the body there. I don't like this. These are the ones you lose, these are. Unless he corrects himself. Ah, there you are. It's loose. No, he's off again now, look. Done it again. Why has he got to play up like this now? There you are, look, he's in the mouth fair and square. Sweat is absolutely pumping out of me by here. Oh yeah, nice fish, look. Look at him, he's done it again. Come on. There it is, look. Fair and square in the chops. That's a good one. So I want to get this, oh yeah, that's a good one that. I want to get this unhooked as quick as I can. Get another 100 mil of corn in that edge. Off we go. 7 minutes, there's enough time for another one yet. If we're quick. Yeah, good fish they are. Just throw that to one side. Put 100 mil of corn, so 200 mil cups. I'll just half fill that. A little bit annoyed now that I wasn't on this earlier. Just slap that in, make plenty of noise. Oh, that's me again. I've got rigs everywhere. I've got line everywhere, as John Wilson would say. Oh, he's not happy, that one. He's going up the channel, look. It's a big one, that. Come on. Back. Out. Pull me off my box, it is. I'm out from there now. Can't hold him. Oh, I didn't mean those brambles. Why did he have to go mad like that? 1 minute to go. Oh, look, he's done me on somebody else's line, would you believe? Ah, it'd be nice to have finished on that. Right, so that's the end of it. I am absolutely sweltering, so I'm going to have a little drink, cool down a bit, and then we'll have a little catch up, I think. Right, so we've finished the match, we've weighed in. We've had a good day, a super frustrating day. We've caught a pile of fish, but would I come back and push it with £5 worth of bait? Honestly, I absolutely hated fishing that match. I had to be super frugal with my bait. I couldn't get into anything. I couldn't set anything up. Even though we've caught loads of fish, I feel like if you're going to spend the money to come and fish, your fuel money, a bit of food, your preparation, spend the money and buy your bait. But somehow we've actually won. We've had £93, I think we had, which has won the match. So it goes to prove you can win on a £5 worth of bait, but I be doing it again.